learners. Welcome to this session on human resource planning for events. In this session, we have a very eminent expert from the event industry, Mr. Ankur Kalra of the Vibgyor Brand Services Private Limited. It's a pleasure to introduce Ankur Kalra, founder and chief experience officer of Vibgyor Brand Services. Ankur, the founder of Vibgyor, is one of the best known names in the events and experiential industry in India. Vibgyor had its humble beginnings in 2002, and today, with over 2 decades of experience, Vibgyor is a 100-employee organization with its offices across 3 major cities in India. Vibgyor is also perhaps one of those experiential marketing agencies in India which has its own project management software. Some of its clients are the leading brands of the world, namely the Amazon, Reckitt, Adidas, Huawei, Reliance, Hindustan Unilever Limited, Samsung, and many other iconic brands. Vibgyor has also successfully conducted very large festivals like the Sambhav, which is India's largest SME event, which even featured Mr. Jeff Bezos amongst many stalwarts of the industry. A very popular IP event of Vibgyor is Make Me Up in the beauty, skincare, and hair space, and this was launched in 2019. I would like to also proudly say that Ankur is one of the founding members of the Event and Entertainment Management Association of India and has heavily contributed to event education across India and abroad. So learners, very proudly, I'd like to introduce Mr. Ankur Kalra to you. He is a very eminent event industry expert, and we are privileged to have him with us for this session on human resource planning for events. Hello, Mr.
Thank you.
Ankur, how are you? Yeah.
I'm very good. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. And human resource management is a subject which is very close to my heart. And I'm very grateful that you've chosen me for this subject. So let's try and give the maximum value to our listeners today.
Thank you, Ankur. Thank you for accepting our invitation. We know that organizing an event is a team effort, and an event manager has to primarily create an efficient team to ensure that all functional domains of the event are managed well and properly executed. So I'd like to ask you about what human resource planning is in this context, and if you'd like to share a video to explain this to our learners, it would really be very useful.
So to begin with, what I'd like to say is that our industry, the event management industry, is part of the services industry. We don't sell any products, right? We sell services. We sell dreams, as I tell my people, right? Who thinks of those dreams? Who executes those dreams? Who sells those dreams? Are people. What is my raw material? Any event company in this country, what is their raw material? Their raw material is not sound, light, stage. It's not content, it's people. The input in our business is one and only one, that is human resources. That is the only thing that fuels our business. We don't have, it doesn't matter whether, this COVID situation has told us, you don't even have to go to the office to do your work, right? Our people can be working out of anywhere. Our people can be working out of coffee shops, out of restaurants, out of hotels, out of their homes, and they can still contribute towards a great event. So I believe that if an entrepreneur or if an agency manages its human resources well, their chances of survival and of success are really high. And if they manage them badly, that will be the reason that they will not be able to deliver what they promised to deliver. So it is all about a job of an entrepreneur is all about running his agency successfully through human resources. In terms of video, I don't have anything specifically on human resources, but about 3 years ago, we had made a small video when we had turned 15, and that touched upon human resources. I can very quickly share that with you. Just a moment.
We founded our company with a single belief: building extraordinary experiences for customers with the power of experiential marketing. Creating our own set of core values, adding value to a brand, operating with integrity, best in quality work, grooming one another. For the clients, your word is our world, taking ownership, and the most important, respect for each other.
These are the set of values that our company has for our human resources. As you know that we've taken each letter of our company and equated that with one of the values that our people should possess, whether it's respect or integrity or ownership. And we've used that as part of WIPGURE, which is why we really consider the human resources aspect very important in our business.
From the brief to brainstorming to the actual execution, we are determined to do things differently. Breaking conventions and finding better and more ingenious ways to solve things. Reaching out in new and exciting ways. And while others said it couldn't be done, together we believe there is nothing we can't do. And the good is never good enough. Small, large, complex. We have created and managed some of the best experience-based solutions. We have grown to be one of the leaders in our industry, giving brands a new platform for communication and engage with their clients. We achieved what seemed to be a dream, got recognized for our hard work and determination, pushing our own benchmarks and reaching new milestones. Our vision to have a stronger network and stretching our strength to different cities in the country, having a base in Mumbai and Bangalore, we aim to reach a wider horizon. What has been essentially important to us is the relationship we share with our clients. We work as partners, together helping each other excel and evolve. And what makes all this happen is the teamwork. Some of the most vibrant and energetic people dedicatedly working together for the same mission. Spearheaded by the Client Services Division, with the creative team adding life to the ideas and operations, making sure that the execution is done with all finesse. Our pioneering experiences and firm belief in what we do has collectively made us one of the most successful experiential marketing agencies in the country. Today we turn 15 years young, and this is why 2017 is a year of celebration, a stepping stone to realize the vision for our future. The vision to take part in something special, finding new and unique ways to tell a story that will evolve and excite. Thank you for 15 incredible years of success and helping us lay the foundation for an exciting future.
Sorry, that video was 3 years old, but if you notice in the video, we've said that it's all about teamwork. That is what makes the entire company tick, and that's what brings all the departments together. And it was just the reason I shared that video was that it used a little bit of team motivational things which are part of our HR efforts.
Right. So under a successful event lies a very skilled and well-versed and qualified team. As I can see, you have an overwhelming presence in 3 major cities across India, and you've built a lot of networking. And this has happened, of course, because of teamwork, and has got a lot of energy going into the entire activity of team building. So I now request you to enlighten our learners regarding what human resource planning is all about, and what are the concepts attached to this?
Sure. So I have a short presentation. I will just share my screen. And we have this session is in 2 parts. The first part is about the need, the concept, and the process of human resource planning, where we just touch upon why is it important. And in the second part, we actually delve into the details of which are the departments of human resources in an event management company and what do each of them do. So the first one is establishing the need. Why is HR important? And the second one is about exactly what we cover in each of the departments. Right. So let me start with introducing myself. As you said, I run an agency called WIPGURE. We are in Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, and we employ about 100 plus individuals in our company. What are the objectives of this session? The objectives are to understand the application of human resource planning specifically to event management, and to explain the process of recruitment, selection, induction, training, and remuneration as important aspects of the human resource planning. So why is HR required or HR important in an event organization?
So what exactly does HR do? They plan that there are right people
at the right place at the right time. If there's an excess of people, the agency will not do well because they'll be spending too much. And if there's a shortage of people, they will not be able to pick up work in an optimum manner in the way that they should be picking up work from the market. So the usage of HR really defines the efficiency and effectiveness of an organization. Like I said, an agency like ours, an event agency, the only input is human resources, and HR planning means incorporating the people element into the strategic plans of the organization. It's not just about hiring, it's not just about interviewing, it's not just about paying. It's the entire cycle from identifying to exiting, the entire cycle of the entire journey of a person in an organization is called human resource planning. So like I said, the most important, rather the only input in an event organization is its human resources. There are no other machines that we have which produce our work. And an organization which is able to take care of its human resources will be successful in the long run, and one that isn't will fail in achieving its objectives. So that is how important human resources. Frankly, that is the only difference between agencies or event management companies which are successful and event companies which are unsuccessful. People who are able to manage their human resources well and people who are not able to manage their human. It boils down to that. So the most important aspect of running a successful event agency is management of human resources. And I can't emphasize on this more than anything else. You can learn all the skills, you can learn all the technical aspects, you can do everything else. But if you don't have the right people and you don't manage the right people, then you will not be successful in running an event business. So HR actually meets the objectives of both the management as well as the employees. It's a very delicate balance. On one side is profit and efficiency, and on the other side is employee engagement, is employee motivation, is employee satisfaction, is employee happiness. So it's a very delicate balance that has to be maintained. One can't completely look at it from a management's point of view that one has to do cost cutting, one has to optimize, and one has to use human resources as resources. And one can't look at it only from an employee point of view that it should only be about getting better remuneration, getting better facilities, getting better enjoyment, getting the better environment, and it is not about productivity. So it's a balance that one has to achieve, and it's a very delicate balance that any organization, especially an event organization, has to achieve. And that is the skill of a good entrepreneur who is able to achieve that balance in human resources. So what is the concept of human resource planning in an event organization? What are the different functions that an event management human resource manager has to do? The first is to create the correct structure or framework. You can't say that, let's say a person comes to me for an interview. I like that person and I feel that he or she is a deserving person. Will I give him an opportunity in my organization? No, unless and until there is a structure and that person fits into a particular place. Just because he or she seems to be a good fit doesn't mean that I will hire that person. So the first correct structure or framework has to be created. That is the job of the human resource planner or the human resource manager or the human resource head of an organization, is to create the right structure which is good for a certain period of time. I cannot do a human resource planning for the next 6 months. It has to be at least for the next 2 to 3 years. What is my structure today and what will it be 3 years down the line? So that as I have to scale up, the only way to scale up is to get the right people on board. So it's about first creating the correct structure. Second, attracting the right talent, right? If I have the right structure, I'm not able to attract the right talent, what good is that structure, right? Now, out of the people who've come, how do I analyze them and select them and ensure that they meet the requirements of my organization? So recruitment is the third part. Let's say I've created the right structure that my organization needs 100 people and needs them at these positions. Now I have to attract, now I have to call 500 people for interviews to select those 100 people, right? Assuming that 1 in 5 will be selected. Now I have to find out which is that one. If I get the wrong people, it is going to be bad for my business. So I need
I'd
to
like
ensure that.
to briefly interrupt you here. Ankur, actually, a lot of studies have, have come up where it's been revealed that the industry is suffering short of talent. The industry is looking for the right talent. So, like you are saying that while recruiting people as well, you look for certain skills in people. I'm sure you're going to discuss that. So what
Yes,
is
yes,
the
in detail.
exactly the talent which you're looking for in the event industry, and what kind of activities? I'm sure you'll share all those activities.
Yes, yes. That is part of the second session,
Right,
part of my
right.
next session, where we talk
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
skill sets
yeah,
required
yeah, yeah.
for certain roles in an event agency.
Exactly.
I will
So
come to that in the second session.
sure, sure. So this is one thing which our learners would like to know, why there is a dearth of good talent entering the industry, and what the
Sure,
industry
sure.
is looking for when they mention about talent. Yeah,
Yes. So
please
there is
go
no
on.
dearth of people. There is a
Right,
dearth of people who fit the need. So if I
exactly.
advertise the position, I get 20 people for one position. But the chances are that none of those 20 people are actually able to meet the criteria that I am looking for. So there is no dearth of people, but there's a dearth of right people. And they need to know what are the things that they need to do to become the right people. Right? So I will come to that in my next session, that what are the skill sets that are required and what are the expectations from people in various different roles in an event management company.
Sure, sure.
So I was coming to the third step, which is about recruitment and selection of the right candidates. And the fourth aspect is about the orientation and training of the candidates so that they can be productive in an organization. So this is also as important. You see, a person may have the basic skill sets which are right, but if he does not or she does not understand the ethos of the organization, if they are not trained well, if they are not told the expectations that are there from them well, if they are not told about the rules of the organization, then they will not be successful and their journey within the organization will be short-lived. So these are the four basic concepts that HR needs to have in an event management scenario. Then there is the fifth one is the optimum utilization. Now, once you've brought a person on board, you have trained them, how do you optimally utilize them? What are the rules and processes that you create that you give them optimum utilization, right? Then the next is the constant improvement, which means the training. The journey of an employee does not end when they are hired. It starts, right? So how do they constantly improve the performance of staff? And finally, what is the growth chart? If an employee does not get the right growth, they will leave and it will be a loss for the company and for the employee. So how do we constantly, and there are two aspects of it. One, how do we constantly challenge those people into giving them bigger, better opportunities where they feel challenged, and how is it that we give them growth when they achieve those challenges? So this is actually the journey of the HR function in an event management company: creating the structure, attracting the right talent, recruiting and selecting the right candidates, orientation and training of the recruits, optimum utilization of employees, constant improvement or training, finally managing growth and giving them challenges. So this, I would say, covers most of the aspects. What are the kind of employees in an event management organizations, kind of team members that are there? So there is, of course, the first is the full-time employees. This is other than the directors and the management I'm talking about. So it's full-time employees. It could be consultants. We hire consultants. We hire creative consultants. We hire design consultants. We hire management consultants. We hire fabrication consultants. So there could be consultants. There could be part-time employees who are coming for a few hours in a day or a few hours in a week. There could be interns, students who are doing some sort of studies and are interning with us. Then there are event promoters or volunteers who are there for a specific project, who are there only for a specific particular project, who have joined us. And then there is support staff, which is all your housekeeping and people, guards and all the people who are there to support the functions in an organization. So full-time employees, consultants, part-time employees, project interns, event promoters or volunteers, and support staff. These are the different kinds of members that are there typically in an event management company. What are the responsibilities of an HR manager in an event company? First is to develop the right job descriptions, to attract the right candidates, to conduct the preliminary and shortlisting interviews so that only the shortlisted candidates reach the management, to conduct the induction and training, to manage the performance of employees as per the company policies, to ensure that employees are engaged and productive, to recognize and reward deserving employees. These are the responsibilities of an HR manager in an event management company. So if we talk about, so this particular session is about the process of human resource planning in an event organization. We can very easily break it up into 5 steps and talk about what are the sub steps of each of the 5 steps, which is assessing the human resource requirement. So requirement in terms of staffing, in terms of future forecasting, and what is the organizational. So this is a summary of what I've told you so far. What is the organizational structure? What should be the staffing? And what should be the forecasting over the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. The second important aspect is the recruitment and selection, where we are talking about attracting the right talent and selecting the best out of those talented candidates that come in. The third part becomes the induction, where once we've now finalized that these are the people that we are hiring, we familiarize them with the organization, we orient them with our rules, we explain to them what are the expectations from them, and we tell them very clearly that what is required to be successful in an event company and this particular organization. The fourth is training. We need to constantly improve their skill sets, constantly upgrade their skills, and ensure that they understand what is expected from them, and for them to get better year on year, and give them newer challenges. That is also part of training. And finally is, of course, remuneration and R&R. We need to constantly motivate them by giving them better remuneration at par with what their market value is, and reward them, incentivize them, give them regular feedback about their work, and constantly improve their performance. If HR department of an event organization follows these 5 steps, they would have solved the HR problem for the organization, and they would have ensured success for their enterprise. So this, I would say, is a brief description of what human resource planning stands for in an event management kind of a scenario. And this brings the first part of my HR subject to an end. If you have any questions, I will be very happy to answer those for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankur. That was a wonderful presentation. I just had a brief question. Like when you were talking about training, the key resource areas, you need to make improvement in those areas. So, one more thing which you were mentioning was the structure today and 3 years down the line. So I'm sure you have a lot of, activities or exercises in place to retain and improve the skills of your employees. So for instance, you must be having a people development strategy in your organization where you try to fulfill the training needs of, personnel in the areas of event marketing, risk management, production, and many such areas. The various domains that fit into, the energies which go into organizing a successful event. So, how do you come about achieving this? While you impart training to them, do you you have certain skill sets which you impart to them? And if so, do you engage external agencies for this purpose, or you have your own people in your organization who impart these training sessions? So how do you go about it to, build their competencies and strengthen their skills?
So this is many questions rolled into one, but I will try to attempt to answer it one by one. The first part is understanding the need. Which employee needs what kind of training? So we have a 360-degree feedback mechanism for that, which we do on a quarterly basis, which is part of our HR process. So the employee gives the feedback, his or her immediate supervisor gives the feedback, and their downline gives the feedback. So it's a 360-degree feedback where the downline, so if I am a manager and there is a director who I report into, I will give a feedback that which will be independent, which will not be him going to him, which will be going directly to my HR head about what I believe should be the trainings that my boss should get. Then the person superior gives a feedback about him. So if I have a subordinate, I will give a feedback that he is very good in costing, but he needs to learn how to run an event on the location. Or he is very good in making presentations, but he is weak at time management. Right? So we first identify what is the need of everybody in the organization, including me. Even the people who directly report into me, they give a feedback on what are the things. So for example, for me, they said that anger management is something that he should be getting trained upon. And I actually took training and became better at that. So the thing is that we take a 360-degree feedback from the employee about his or her training needs, from one step above him and one step below him. And we come to a training assessment of what are the needs that that particular employee has. Then we compile all of them and we make buckets. Let's see, 10 people need training in time management. 5 people need training in making better presentations. 2 people need training in on-site running of an event. 5 people need training in anger management. 3 people need training in how to manage their timelines, etc., etc. We make buckets. And then we engage outside resources to come and take training for those buckets of people in those particular aspects. This process is repeated every quarter so that we are up to date on our training needs. So the assessment is done in-house, but the sessions, some of them are taken in-house, but most of them are taken from experts outside.
So I think this kind of a training would be very applicable to other organizations as well, not just the, event management agencies. So
absolutely.
I think that was wonderful.
And it is a continuous process. It is not something that I can do once and forget about it for the next 2 years. It has to be done every quarter on quarter, and one has to invest in it. So which is why we make buckets. So if there's an external faculty who costs us something, instead of one person benefiting from it, 20 people are benefiting from it because they all have one particular shortcoming.
Sure. So it is an ongoing process, and very wonderfully you have highlighted this very salient aspect of human resource planning and management of human resources. So thank you so much, Ankur, for enlightening our learners in this session.
This is a subject that we can go on hours about. It's something which is very close to my heart, and it is the very basic need for an event management company to be successful. In this short time, I hope I've been able to shed a little bit of light and give a little bit of introduction about the human resource planning in an event management organization.
No, it was wonderfully put, very comprehensively explained, and no wonder your event agency is a very successful one and a very prominent one in the event and experiential marketing space today. Thank you so much, Ankur. We shall, learners, we shall meet again in the next session where we'll be talking a little more on human resource planning for events and what kind of activities are done for team building, what are the motivational aspects of human resource planning, and much more. So thank you so much, Ankur, for this session, and we shall meet again soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.